My brothers and sisters, may the Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. After Jesus had revealed himself to his disciples and eaten breakfast with them, he said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" Simon Peter answered him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my lambs." He then said to Simon Peter a second time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Simon Peter answered him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." He said to him, "Tend my sheep." He said to him the third time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was distressed that he had said to him a third time, "Do you love me?" And he said to him, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep. Amen, amen, I say to you, when you were younger, you used to dress yourself and go where you wanted. But when you grow old, you will stretch out your hands and someone else will dress you and lead you where you do not want to go." He said this, signifying in what kind of death he would glorify God. And when he had said this, he said to him, "Follow me." The Gospel of the Lord. The one thing that the Gospels could never claim is that they're politically correct. They tell it like it is, even though it might mean that someone not accept necessarily the whole message. And so it is a woman who is the first to make known to us the fact that Jesus is risen from the dead. And of all the leaders, especially the key leader, Peter, the image that we see of him kind of unfold for us in the Gospel is far less than what you'd be a perfect leader for the church. He's constantly flubbing it, he's constantly making mistakes, he's asked to walk across the water and ends up going down flat because he has no trust. He ends up trying to cut off the ear of a servant in Gethsemane, and Jesus has to correct him about that. He ends up falling asleep when he's supposed to be staying awake and praying. He ends up denying him and betraying him three times in the course of that night in Gethsemane. All these images of Peter are less than perfect. And yet, despite that, Jesus in his care and concern continued to see the potential as to what Peter was capable of. And he continued out of a sense of great love and patience to give Peter the extra space. We get another example of that today, in fact, in this little segment from John's account, where Jesus asked him three times the question, "Do you love me?" to make up for the three times that he denied him. And interestingly, if you were to look at the Greek, the words that are used are very, very specified for Peter and for Jesus. Two different words for love are used. It's not the same one. The one word is agapeo, and the other word is phileo. And agapeo means a kind of a love that's self-sacrificing and the type of love that hopefully exists between a husband and a wife where they know each other so very well. Phileo is more of a friendship love. It's a kind of buddy system, and it's not as strong or as powerful as agapeo. And the first two times Jesus asks the question, he uses the word agapeo, "Do you really love me?" And both times Peter answers back with phileo, "Yes, I do care for you. I do like you." And the third time Jesus takes and uses the word that Peter had. Again, another example of his utter patience with him, and says to him, "Do you like me?" And Peter, realizing what's happening, all of a sudden is able to make the transferal over to the conversion of, "Yes, I do love you." He turns to the word agapeo. What's true of Peter, of course, is true of every single one of us. Sometimes we're right on target. We know exactly where we're going. We know exactly how to follow the Lord. There are other times we flub and fail. We walk in the other direction. We don't follow through on what we should be doing. And through all of that, God, in his great patience and love for us, continues to offer the invitation to call us home again, to once again give us the opportunity to be in line and communion with him. Today, then, as we remember the flubbings at the same time, the great gifts that Peter had, let us remember as well our weaknesses and our strengths.